Have you ever woken up one morning in your 20s and felt like you're walking through thick fog? Like everyone else seems to have a map, but you don't even know your starting point. Maybe you open your phone and see someone your age with a dream job, a perfect apartment, an Instagram-ready romance, and you smile to yourself, but inside your chest tightens. Because you're asking, why does life feel so hollow for me even though I did everything right? Maybe you completed school, graduated, even got a job, bought a few things, but still when the lights go off at night, you lie awake and the question echoes again. Am I really okay? Or am I just keeping up appearances? That feeling is not a glitch in you. It's part of a quiet storm of our generation, a storm invisible but real. And today I want to walk you through why so many people feel lost in their 20s, what our world has done to set the stage, and how you can begin to find your own compass again. Because you are not broken. You're just human in a world that doesn't give humans a simple map. In our grandparents' generation, your 20s came with a script: finish school, get a stable job, marry, maybe buy a home. Life was more linear, the landmarks predictable. Society gave you a roadmap, but fast forward to 2025 and that roadmap is shredded, replaced by a vast scroll of infinite options, shifting job markets, rising costs, social media highlight reels, and global instability. Everything feels optional and uncertain. In that swirl we drift. Psychologists call this period the quarter-life crisis, a time of deep questioning and uncertainty between about 18 to early 30s, when the transition from structured youth to unpredictable adult life hits hard. Many studies show nearly half to three-quarters of young adults go through such a crisis at some point in their 20s. For many, the pressure isn't just inner doubts, it's external. The demand to pick the right career path, the need to secure financial stability, the expectation to have adult-worthy relationships, and often the fear of falling behind friends, classmates, social media peers. Surveys in 2025 found that about 50% of young adults feel isolated when trying to plan their career path. Many feel unsupported, unsure, or overwhelmed by the choices and the lack of guidance. The weight is heavy and unrelenting. Imagine this: you finish college full of hope, a diploma in hand, dreams in your heart. Maybe a few months after graduation you realize that your degree doesn't guarantee a job, or the job you land doesn't feel like what you imagined. It pays the bills, but leaves your spirit hollow. Then you start comparing yourself. On social media you see your peers achieving the kind of success you thought was reserved for special people. Their posts scream confidence, adventure, success, and you feel invisible. The constant comparison warps your sense of reality. It's not that they are lying, but you only see the highlight reels. You don't see the late nights, the doubts, the fear. And you don't see that many of them are just as lost as you. Add to that skyrocketing costs of living, economic instability, sometimes student debt, or just the fact that wages aren't keeping up with inflation. And financial independence feels like a far-off dream rather than a milestone. A dream that you fear maybe you'll never catch. The anxiety mounts. If I don't earn enough, how will I afford a stable life? Maybe a family someday, maybe a home, maybe even feel secure. That pressure seeps into your mind. It dims your excitement. It makes even small decisions feel like heavy burdens. Furthermore, relationships and identity, which used to evolve naturally, now feel like checkboxes under pressure. Get a stable job, find a partner, get my life together. But many people discover that the person they were at 20 is not the person at 25. And those relationships, expectations, plans start to shift. Friendships fade. Some friends marry, others move, others chase success abroad. Suddenly you feel smaller, stuck in a loop, while the people you once knew accelerate. It's disorienting. It feels like life is happening around you, not with you. This crisis isn't just internal turmoil, it's a shared generational experience, a kind of silent epidemic. Data reveals that rates of despair, anxiety, depression among young adults, especially late teens to mid-20s, have risen globally in the past decade. Mental health professionals note that this dramatic shift coincides with major societal changes: globalization, social media, gig economy, economic instability, cultural shifts, pandemics, and a collapse of the traditional life script. Yet this moment, this pressure cooker of uncertainty, self-doubt, comparison, can also become a turning point, a portal to a deeper self, a chance to reimagine what adulthood truly means. not what society defined it as. Because being lost doesn't have to be permanent. In the mess of confusion, we can discover direction beyond the expectations placed on us. Let me show you how by walking through 3 stories. Maybe one will hit home. Picture Maya. She graduated college believing she'd become a writer. She moved to the city chasing dreams, romanticizing independence. A few months later, she's working a 9 to 5 she hates, writing only at night, sleep deprived, doubting whether she ever had a talent. She scrolls through TikTok, seeing others publishing poems, having published books, getting film deals. She feels invisible. Every word she types feels flat, lifeless. She wonders if she was ever meant to write at all. She feels like a failure before she even began. Then there's James. He majored in finance, landed a stable job, has good pay, but something is missing. His friends talk about settling down. He feels like he should buy a condo, marry, build a family, but inside he's restless. The cubicle, the commute, the paycheck no longer satisfy. He begins to question the success he signed up for. He doesn't know where to go, but he knows he can't stay. He starts to question his identity, his purpose. Even his desire for money feels empty. And then Sarah, she chose a safe path, followed expectations, studied something sensible, maybe medicine, law, engineering. Her parents smiled proudly. She earned respect. But when she's finally out of school, free from the expectations, she feels numb. She's not sad, just unexcited. She wonders if the choices she made were hers or someone else's. She wonders if she even knows herself anymore. If any of these feel like you, you're not alone. These stories are not rare. They are the story of a generation navigating an unstable world with old maps. So why is the 20s generation more vulnerable to this than any before? First, the number of choices we face today is mind-boggling compared to previous generations. We can study anything, live anywhere, work remotely, switch careers, retrain, travel, date, change beliefs, explore identity. That freedom is powerful, but freedom without guidance can feel like chaos. When every decision feels like it might define the rest of your life, paralysis sets in. The brain doesn't like infinite options. It needs constraints, structure, clarity. Without direction, our mind constantly loops. What if I choose wrong? What if I waste time? What if I regret it forever? Second, social media and global connection amplified comparisons. You see people succeed, travel, thrive, seemingly without effort, and your own journey becomes a silent question mark. Meanwhile, behind those highlight reels are years of hustle, failure, confusion. But your subconscious doesn't know that. It just absorbs the message. Everyone else is winning. You might already be losing. That leads to shame, isolation, silence. Third, economic and societal changes. Job markets shifting. Technologies such as AI disrupting industries. Inflation, cost of living, housing challenges. These create instability in what used to be stable steps. On top of that, mental health struggles and global uncertainties. Climate change, political unrest, fast-changed values, layer pressure on top of pressure. Traditional success feels unstable, unreliable. So what can you do if you are in this fog? If you are feeling lost right now in your 20s, the good news is there are paths through. Not easy or fast, but real. First, allow yourself to feel the confusion, name it. Recognize that feeling lost in your 20s is not a failure. It might be a feature of this era. Accept that you don't have to have it all figured out. Give yourself permission to pause, breathe, and wonder without shame. That's the first healing. Second, redefine what adulthood means for you, not what anyone else expects. You don't have to follow the old blueprint. Maybe adulthood for you isn't about a 9 to 5 job, marriage, a house. Maybe it's about learning something new, cultivating relationships, caring for your mental health, discovering passions, building small skills. Redefining doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing consciously. Third, experiment, iterate, explore. Because in a world with infinite options, direction often comes from exploration, not from waiting for a sign. Try writing, painting, side hustles, volunteering, traveling, new friendships, new communities. Some experiments will fail. Some will feel meaningless. But through doing, you'll gather data about yourself. What lights you up? What drains you? What feels meaningful? Over time, patterns emerge. That is how you discover direction. Fourth, build connection and community. Isolation is a trap. We underestimate how much we rely on social structures to define path and purpose. Talk to friends, mentors, peers. Share your fears. Find people who listen, who don't judge success by salaries or titles, but by values, growth, empathy. Lean on community. Fifth, practice compassion for yourself. When you feel lost, it's easy to become your worst critic. But that inner voice is lying. You are not behind, you are simply on a different path. The story you're living may not look successful by conventional metrics, but it may be rich with growth, self-discovery, resilience. Honor that. Finally, remember, this phase doesn't define your whole life, it shapes it. The confusion, the longing, the anxiety can become the foundation of your wisdom, empathy, clarity. Many people who felt lost in their 20s look back in their 30s or 40s and realize that was the time they discovered who they really are. Not what they were taught to be, but who they are at their core. If you're hearing this now, maybe you feel lost. Maybe you feel like life passed you by. Maybe you compare yourself to others and wonder if you're the only one stuck. Know this, you're not alone. This generation is going through a collective transition. The world changed, the rules changed, and so naturally we feel unmoored. But this is not the end of your story. It might just be the beginning of your most honest chapter. So give yourself a break, breathe, reflect. Give yourself the space to explore, to fail, to grow. And when you look back, you'll see that being lost didn't mean being broken. It meant you were figuring yourself out. If this resonates, hold on. You are not meant to have all the answers now. Some of the best discoveries come from questions. And sometimes being lost is the first step toward becoming found. If you found yourself in this, please like this video. Comment below with your thoughts. Share if you are or were feeling lost. What scares you? What you wish you knew? Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Because together we'll keep exploring, keep questioning, keep finding ourselves, one step at a time.